Just about a mile away from our school in Miami Shores is a farm no one else had seen before.
So it's called a little farmhouse just because we are a little tiny working farm. We're about an acre.
This home was built with Miami-Dade pine. It's 100-year-old, so they used it all up, all that wood, but it's apparently like the best wood. The termites don't eat it, it's really strong.
So when we bought the property about 4 years ago, the cabins were already here. And I guess the previous owner had bought them on auction, I think in 2001 or in 2002. Previous owner got them here, I think for $8 each down the street, and then she rented it out as an Airbnb. We are a dog rescue, so we do get stray dogs and then rehabilitate them and then adopt them out.
And where did you get them?
From the street, basically, Miami. Just like, okay, so the pig somebody bought really small and thought that they could have it in an apartment. A friend of mine told me about that and I just went and got her. She was this big.
Currently, at the moment, we've got one pony, one pig, one goat, 15 chickens, a rooster, 5 dogs, 7 cats, and then we had 2 baby orphan squirrels, but we released them because they got healthy enough. So, but that number always fluctuates. So we got this farm, and then we started thinking about ways that it could become produce income, and so we started thinking of photo shoots and film shoots. At the time, my sister was a photographer, and she had mentioned to me that photographers pay for locations here. I just assumed that they would either use a professional studio, or if they wanted a Caribbean feel, they would go to the Bahamas or Jamaica or whatnot. And then when she told me that, that was just a game changer.
It's definitely wild to have come to this farmhouse, especially since it's in the middle of Miami, which is a very busy and vibrant city, and to come to a different place where it feels like a whole different world. I feel like I'm in the countryside and I'm actually in the middle of Little Haiti.
And it's right on the edge of Little Haiti with this little river, and it's absolutely beautiful with all these animals running around. You completely escape the city life and just a mile away from our school, which is incredible.
I think that this place is this is a kind of cozy place where you can like relax really easier because there's plantation everywhere. There's a big silence. We're out there today, so not a big silence.
You know, nothing like this really, where there's really overgrown outsides, and especially since this whole property is 1 acre, which for anywhere in Miami is a lot of land. And it's pretty interesting how over the past 100 years, exactly 100 years, they've kept everything in such great condition. For the most part, the things that were there then are still there now. It's very interesting.
This is a great place because many dogs which are in the process of being adopted are in shelters with very poor care. And this place, there's so much space for these animals to stay around. So the faster if we adopt, the more animals can be rescued and live in this beautiful farmhouse. When people usually think of botanical gardens, they think of the Fairchild Garden. But what people don't know is that the Campon Garden is the first original garden that David Fairchild lived in.
Well, this is the Campon, and this is the home of David and Marion Fairchild. So this property is about 7 acres, and it's 1,800 feet long by 200 feet wide.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's very important to learn the history of where a lot of our plants and fruit and vegetables came from. And I think that they need to know about what contributions David Fairchild made to our economy and to our culture, actually. And it's a beautiful place. I mean, everybody that comes here is a marvel because people have lived here forever and didn't even know it was here. So this is a mango. And you see how the bark here is different than that? That means it was grafted onto that. So in the same way over here, see the piece coming out?
And what else would they kind of learn from the Campon Garden?
Well, I think that would become under the purview of Craig Morrell. He's the director here.
I was wondering, how would I apply for an educational program here, and what would I get out of it?
If you were going to apply for an educational program here, it would likely be routed through FIU, or whether it was ecology, pollination ecology, history of plant exploration, plant botany, plant systematics, and so on. So we have a number of programs that run concurrently.
David Fairchild is associated with the Fairchild Garden, although many don't know about his contributions to not only Miami, but USA.
His job was to find new foods to feed America, and many of his legacies live on even in modern day. Figs, dates, nectarines, peaches, soybeans, hard-shelled wheat, rice, sorghum, sugarcane, and so on. All of these things were brought in and commercialized by David Fairchild. So it would be safe to say that 1 out of every 10 or 12 things that we eat are things that he brought in.
Just recently, biologists have been seeking 2 massive mangroves which escaped the Kampong and Fairchild Tropical Garden. We now learn the truth.
There really wasn't a mystery of a mangrove. There was a species that Dr. Fairchild brought in 1940 from Indonesia, actually from the Maluku Islands. It was Bruguiera gemnorrhiza, a very pretty species that has orange flowers. It was here from 1940 until about 2007 or 2008, when it was classified as it is actually a global weed in many of the tropical areas. It had never shown itself to be a weed here, but climate changed, the tree started to produce viable seed, and in 2015, I believe, or 2014, the Fish and Wildlife Commission of the state of Florida determined that those trees had to be removed. One of the trees ended up about a mile north of here, and that caused quite a furor because the Fish and Wildlife Commission said that it was proof that that tree was a weed it had spread. The truth of the matter was that the superintendent here gave a seedling of those trees to a friend a mile up the road.
Leaving Coconut Grove from the Kampong Garden or Museum. Au revoir!
Little Haiti in Lemon City are in an area that's very old in Miami-Dade County. It's been here a long time. It was a historically black neighborhood that then became a home for immigrants coming from the Caribbean, from Haiti and Jamaica and other islands. And so a lot of the businesses and restaurants have a historic connection to those immigrants.
I put a lot of passion and love into my food. I really do more home type cooking, like grandma's cooking. It's Caribbean. It's like in East Indian meet West Indian. A lot of people look forward for the jerk chicken and the oxtail. Okay, jerk is like it started out in Jamaica in the mountains. Okay, I think it's the Scottish or British people. That was their mean of cooking, right? They built a fire with the pimento wood, and they kind of smoke this marinated chicken. They make the seasoning type of a barbecue, but without barbecue sauce.
How long does it take to make that?
Oh, ours take about 4 hours.
4 hours?
Yes.
Wow.
I've seen a lot of new people, a lot of different culture, a lot of tourists. Before it was local, but now it's all like art student. The art is what's bringing in a change in the neighborhood. From 1980, it has been the same menu, but we put a little bit more effort into it and put a little twist.
About to eat? I'm about to eat for the first time curry goat. I'm very excited. I'm just excited to see how it tastes.
We're not thinking about leaving because we don't want to go big. I mean, a lot of people like to go big. Go big is more work. More work means more employees. You're not going to have consistency.
For delicious food and consistency, you can't beat B&M Market on 79th Street in Miami.
Usually my family goes to popular places because, well, this is Miami. But I know 2 secret gems. One is in Lincoln Road. It's a Mexican cuisine called Huajua's Taqueria. And the other one is along Biscayne Boulevard, and it's a sandwich shop called Miss Cheesiest.
I think everybody should go to Wynwood Walls to see the cool graffiti art. I think that's something everybody would enjoy.
My favorite hidden gem of South Florida is Sub Center up in Hollywood, off Hollywood Boulevard. It has the best cheesesteaks in all of South Florida.
The Biltmore Hotel, with its enormous pool, is a pretty cool spectacle. Venetian pool is lush and gorgeous, and I'm partial to Matheson Hammock. The little lagoon beach at the atoll is quite nice, especially to go swimming with kids.
My hidden gem of Miami is if you go to the Bay Area and you can get on a boat, they have these little islands that have sand around them, and it's a really nice place, and it's kind of like your own private little beach.
So I would take family or friends who are visiting to the new Miami Design District to look at the various shops and go to the great restaurants that are there.
Kale and Speed, because my family doesn't really live here, and I'm pretty sure like over there in their countries they don't really have that.
Garcia's Seafood Grill and Fish Market in Miami. If you haven't been there, you got to get there. It's on the lake. The address, I don't know what the address is, but it's in Miami. Garcia's Seafood Grill and Fish Market.